Last year, BJP came to power again. Third time for the Prime Minister, just 18 more to go. Don't worry. Don't worry. I think AI has advanced so much that I think the Prime Minister Modi ji is going to live on forever. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they tell us that Modi ji was AI all along. For all it's worth, I think Modi ji is the Terminator because he has 56-inch chest. If you go on Twitter, you can see he has red eyes also. And plus, Modi ji is the Terminator because the Terminator says, I'll be back, and Modi ji is always back. What a solid man though. Whatever the war was happening, he cancelled his trip. He came back to India the next day without sleeping for a second, without eating a single bite of food. He was giving rally speeches for elections. He also spoke in English because he wanted to send a message to the world loud and clear. But the only problem was he was speaking English in Bihar. Now the message was loud and clear to the world, but the person sitting in the first row was like, "Ee ka bol rahe be?" I mean, when in Rome, Modi ji. But you have to give it up for him. I love him. Not a lot of people know this. I know Modi ji personally. I see him every day. Petrol pumps, billboards, drones, social media, my dad's WhatsApp status. When athletes win medals, when soldiers go to war, you always see Modi ji. No matter what happens, Modi ji is always there. And for me, Modi ji is always here in my heart. No, my heart is here. Modi ji is in my heart, and that is why my arteries are blocked. The doctors has said that I might have a stroke, but I've told the doctor, I've told him that because it is Modi ji, it will be a master stroke. June is celebrated as Pride Month, where we celebrate LGBTQ plus people, and capitalism celebrates LGBTQ plus rainbow merchandise sales. The Madras High Court has recently said that same-sex marriage is not legal, but LGBTQ plus couples can make families, which is a really progressive move during Pride Month. However, celebrations have turned a little sour because the world's best gay couple just broke up yesterday. Donald Trump and Elon Musk, because Elon Musk did not approve of Donald Trump's BBB. Big beautiful bill. He said bill. He said it's not that big and it's not that beautiful. The bill guys. It is clear that Elon Musk cannot handle his ex, whether it be Donald Trump or Twitter. Today, I stand at the High Court of Madras. I am Manu Abhishek. No, not that one. No. The ex-judges, they went back to flashbacks where the other Manu Abhishek would appear. But if I were him, I would not be appearing physically. I would be appearing through VC and would be charging 15 lakhs per appearance. But I will not take more than 20 minutes because as a junior lawyer, I don't get paid enough to do more than that. I am a stand-up comedian from Delhi. And I'm sure the judges these days, they are used to seeing us on the other side of the bench as accused number 1, accused number 2, accused number 3. But I'm not a small timer. I am no Kunal Kamra or Samay Raina. I am a strong, independent woman. I always make sure that during my shows there are at least one ex or sitting judges present. So sir, please, if you can wave to the camera, please. Thank you so much. Now, yes, at least one I said. Now, when the police come looking for me to arrest me, I'll show them this video. And they were also laughing, see? Now we are all co-accused in the FIR. This is how I strengthen the relationship between the bar and the bench. This is my first time in Chennai, and the weather was so hot and people were driving so crazy. A lot of people were drunk. I thought I had a layover in Gurgaon. But I did not see the West Bengal police arrest any law students there. So then I understood it was not Gurgaon. Recently, the famous actor Kamal Hassan got into trouble for saying that Kannada language has been born out of Tamil language. Honestly, I don't know which language came first. Please tell me which one should I learn so that I don't get slapped in the public. I have some rules before I start with the jokes. Rule number 1 is please keep your phones on silent. Please do not record. I am also a lawyer. I'll sue you for copyright infringement. Please do not throw food at me. This is not the Delhi High Court canteen. Please try not to file any FIRs after the show. I love to be held, but not in the contempt of court. And please remember that if you like the jokes, my name is Manu Abhishek. If you find the jokes offensive, my name is Kunal Kamra. And finally, Nar ud dard sunna, noor dard sunna madri. Okay, I'll start. Joke number 1. We are gathered here today to discuss the concept of federalism in India, or as the people of Kashmir call it, can I say the F word? I'll say it anyway. As the people in Kashmir called it, fascism. That is the real F word. India is a quasi-federalist country, which means that if your state government does not align with the central government, then your CM will be arrested for an alleged liquor scam and forced out of power. I am not scared to say all of this because the people who will be offended by this cannot understand these words. But Indian federalism is very simple and very, very efficient. A state can do whatever they want unless there is an emergency. Or if the center says there is an emergency. Or even if there is no emergency. I think the center really needs to go to therapy because they have major control issues. I'll make my submissions good, Your Lordship. Last week, I'll give you an example. Last week, 3 penguin babies were born in Mumbai in a zoo. Okay? They were named Tom, Noddy and Pingu. Now, the BJP has objected to this and has started protesting that since these penguins were born in Maharashtra, they should have Marathi names. This is true story. This is a real news. Some sources say that instead of Tom, Noddy and Pingu, they want the names to be Tomya, Noddy and Pengya. And some sources say that they have been named Eknath, Devendra and Ajit. But I don't believe that. That is very highly unlikely because penguins are known for their loyalty. So I'm not very sure about that. But now the only issue is these penguins, these little babies, they've already been beaten up. Because even though the goons are saying that even though they have Marathi names, they still cannot speak in Marathi. The Supreme Court recently intervened with the federal structure of the country, and I'm really, really disappointed with the Supreme Court and their treatment of the governor of Tamil Nadu. The Supreme Court recently laid down guidelines for the governor to return a bill, but I believe that if the governor wants to keep the bill for 2 years, it's his choice. If the governor wants to take the bill out on a date, it's his choice. If the governor wants to marry the bill after it attains the age of legal consent, it's his choice, unless he's the governor of Rajasthan. But if the governor wants to make love to the bill, who are you to decide? It's not like that he has to register his live-in marriage with the bill, unless he's the governor of Uttarakhand where UCC is applicable. Do you guys like UCC jokes? I'll give you a UCC joke. You won't see it coming. Recently, a Canadian court said that sending a thumbs up emoji can be considered as a legally binding contract. But courts in India have not followed suit because the courts have held that sending a middle finger emoji to your wife does not mean that you're legally divorcing her, even if you send it 3 times. Do you see the joke here or do you see the joke there? But what I'm trying to say is, don't be too hard on the governors, Supreme Court. Like, who pays their bills on time? How can you force the governor to get his bills on time? I think the Supreme Court has really overstepped their powers, and I fully condemn this act and I support the governor. Because how do you expect a government officer to act on time? He has to have his tea break, his lunch break, his brunch break, his break from breaks. So please, I request you stop being so hard on the governor, because being the stooge of the central government is not an easy job. Justice Muralidhar is present in the on the bench today, different kind of bench. He is the former judge of the Delhi High Court, and as my dear senior Sanjoy Ghosh refers to him as the boldest judge the Supreme Court never had. A big round of applause for Justice Muralidhar. Justice Muralidhar was one of the most honest and fierce High Court judges, and recently he also said that the right to laugh is being taken away. So I request him that, sir, you need to protect this life and you have to appear for me pro bono in my anticipatory bail case after the show. But Justice Muralidhar was famous for operating his chambers from his car, which was parked in the parking lot of the Supreme Court. While criminals were using red Maruti Omni vans to kidnap children, Justice Muralidhar was delivering swift justice in his blue Maruti Omni van. So, I honestly think that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea, and we should bring this practice back. It has a lot of perks to it. You can save a lot of space. All the judges and lawyers should shift their chambers to their cars. The space issue will be solved. There's ease of access, mobility, and there's not enough space to store your 15 crore rupees lying there if the fire department comes looking. Justice Muralidhar also has time and again urged lawyers not to address him as your lordship. In 2006, the Bar Council of India passed a resolution saying that no advocate should address a judge as my lords or your lordship. But we all know that it's not usually followed in practice even till now, even 20 years later. A few months ago, an honorable judge of the Supreme Court said that if you stop saying your lordship, I will give you half of my salary. Now, to which a senior lawyer standing in the courtroom, probably Justice Muralidhar only, replied, half of your salary? I apologize, but I made much more than that this morning, your lordship. Meanwhile, a junior lawyer intervened and said, for half of your salary, I'll call you anything you want, daddy. Please give it up for all the female lawyers present here. The round of applause for female lawyers. I respect female lawyers a lot. And Justice Bela Trivedi recently retired on 14th May. Very sad news for the Supreme Court registry. And pretty ironical that her name was Justice Bela Trivedi, but she never gave bail to anybody. And her retirement meant that the representation of women in the Supreme Court went down to 5.8% from 9.3%. Additionally, last week, 3 new judges were also appointed to the Supreme Court. The number is even lesser now. It seems like a lot of construction is going on in the Supreme Court because they're rebuilding the glass ceiling. The Delhi police closed the POXO case against BJP leader Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The Delhi court has accepted cancellation report from the police, and honestly, I'm from Delhi and I think it's just a normal day in our courts, Delhi courts, because this just shows that Delhi culture is to rather burn your daughters than to burn your bridges. A junior woman lawyer was recently brutally assaulted by a senior advocate in his office in Kerala, if you know this news. It's a very shameful incident, very, very shameful incident. I condemn this behavior and I fully support the senior advocate. Because these juniors these days, they're so entitled. How can they demand things like normal working hours, a respectable salary, remuneration for traveling, basic respect and human decency? What are these junior advocates on? The audacity. The slap was not a slap, it was Guru Dakshina by the senior. And these seniors, they pay us 10,000 per year and we are still complaining? Very bad. I condemn this act completely. Okay, let's talk about some black money. I think I'll be playing with fire here. But I'm not scared, honestly. I'm not scared. Because I think I can play with fire, unlike some Delhi High Court judges. The incident really lit up the Indian judiciary in flames, and things are really bad in Delhi right now. Authorities are taking major steps so that these things do not happen in the future. To curb the problem of black money being found, the new rule has been made that all judges' accommodations will come with a totally fireproof storeroom, so that you keep your black money safe. Nobody can come and enter and take it away. Pablo Escobar once burnt money to keep his daughter warm, and Justice Verma burnt his money to keep my jokes on fire. Okay, a little serious topic, but a 10-year-old rape victim died in Bihar, and the family alleged that the minor girl had to wait in an ambulance for several hours before getting a bed because she was a Dalit girl. Now, a random Guddu Pandit or Tambram Ria will go on internet.com and tell you how reservation has taken away their seats, but they'll never speak about how casteism has taken away so many beds from the deserving, and now how big of a problem this is. This was not a joke, I just wanted to raise this issue. Justice Chandrachud is going to teach in NLU Delhi now. Maybe he'll make more impact there. His first lecture will be on separation of powers, where he will explain how the judiciary and the executive should keep their personal lives separate in order to maintain balance and avoid any conflict of interests. For example, the Prime Minister should never perform religious rituals in the official residence of the CGI. June is celebrated as Pride Month, where we celebrate LGBTQ plus people, and capitalism celebrates LGBTQ plus rainbow merchandise sales. The Madras High Court has recently said that same-sex marriage is not legal, but LGBTQ plus couples can make families, which is a really, really progressive move during Pride Month. However, celebrations have turned a little sour because the world's best gay couple just broke up yesterday. Donald Trump and Elon Musk, because Elon Musk did not approve of Donald Trump's BBB. Big beautiful bill. He said bill. He said it's not that big and it's not that beautiful. The bill guys. It is clear that Elon Musk cannot handle his ex, whether it be Donald Trump or Twitter. In more wholesome news, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, last year he returned to Delhi with a puppy after a private visit to Goa. He seems to be following the footsteps of our beloved Prime Minister, who also returned with a little puppy back in the day on his private visit to Republic TV. Nation wants to know the joke? Okay. Last year, BJP came to power again. Third time for the Prime Minister, just 18 more to go. Don't worry. Don't worry. I think AI has advanced so much that I think the Prime Minister Modi ji is going to live on forever. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they tell us that Modi ji was AI all along. For all it's worth, I think Modi ji is the Terminator because he has 56-inch chest. If you go on Twitter, you can see he has red eyes also. And plus, Modi ji is the Terminator because the Terminator says, I'll be back, and Modi ji is always back. What a solid man though. Whatever the war was happening, he cancelled his trip. He came back to India the next day without sleeping for a second, without eating a single bite of food. He was giving rally speeches for elections. He also spoke in English because he wanted to send a message to the world loud and clear. But the only problem was he was speaking English in Bihar. Now the message was loud and clear to the world, but the person sitting in the first row was like, "Ee ka bol rahe be?" I mean, when in Rome, Modi ji. But you have to give it up for him. I love him. I love him. Not a lot of people know this. I know Modi ji personally. I see him every day. Petrol pumps, billboards, drones, social media, my dad's WhatsApp status. When athletes win medals, when soldiers go to war, you always see Modi ji. No matter what happens, Modi ji is always there. And for me, Modi ji is always here in my heart. No, my heart is here. Modi ji is in my heart, and that is why my arteries are blocked. The doctors have said that I might have a stroke, but I've told the doctor, I've told him that because it is Modi ji, it will be a master stroke. Okay, I'll tone it down now politically. Let's do a little bit of lawyer jokes towards the end. I believe that a lawyer has 3 different kinds of lovers in their lifetime. SCC online, which is like a new partner, modern, good looking, has everything you're looking for. You can show it to anybody and they'll be impressed. Not a lot of people can access at the same time. Manu Patra, your spouse, your first love, but kind of old now. Doesn't look too good and it's very confusing sometimes. Might have multiple users. Indian Qanoon, that one hookup you keep going back to when everything fails. You are ashamed of it and you cannot show it to anybody. In an interesting incident in Delhi, a court ordered a restaurant to pay rupees 3,500 to a lawyer as his masala dosa was served to him without sambar. Did I say it right? Sambar? Sambar irke after the show? Please? The restaurant owner breathed a sigh of relief as he got off with just a slap on his wrist because in South India, if you serve your masala dosa without sambar, it can attract the death penalty under the criminal law. Okay. I just want to say that I'm not scared. I have my freedom of speech. India is the land of free. No, wait, that's America. India is the land of reasonably free. As long as you do not joke about or talk about a few things. I have a small list. So, if you don't joke about religion, caste, incest, BJP, the army, the farmers, the prime minister, the home minister, Operation Sindoor, Muslims, Allah, Ram, governor, state Kashmir, the northeast riots, Article 370, 2002 riot, pollution, AQI, Gaddafi period, leaves, marital rape, LGBTQ+, Diwali, holy beef, I think we all should be good. Also, I truly believe that we have our freedom of speech. We have our freedom of speech. And it is guaranteed to us by a book which holds all our rights. And I've got this book. I wanted to show it to you. This is the book. It is the biography of Shah Rukh Khan. I was at the airport. I wanted to buy the biography of Narendra Modi, which is the book which guarantees all the rights. But it was not available. So I got the book of the next best actor. Last thing I want to say, a stand-up comedian, a policeman and a lawyer walk into a courtroom. The policeman says, "Your Lordship, this stand-up comedian has committed a grave offense." The lawyer says, "No, Your Lordship, my client has committed no offense." The stand-up comedian says nothing because they are not allowed to speak anymore. Iddu eppadi irukku?